Thank you very much, my former speaker, Dr. Mahesh. Thank you for that point which you said that it's very important to be very, very honest and very open with our patients. No matter what the complication may be, if we are very human, considerate and kind to our patients and explain them well, I think they stick around with us. Coming to this case, this is a 35-year-old gentleman. I had not seen him that time. He was seen by somebody else in other city. He's reported that he had significant back pain and he had tried all sort of conservative treatment and it did not work. This was his MRI. This was the MRI before the first surgery. You see that it's just a retrospective thought. I do not know what was the story, but when the patient said that he had significant back pain, maybe the disc at the lower lumbar spine, they look darker, absolutely no neural compression. These are the more zoomed in pictures. And the first surgery which was done elsewhere, this was done for this patient. This patient has a sacralized L5 and a T-lift was done. Any comments on this X-ray? Anyone? Dr. Gururaj. We have good 15 minutes to discuss this case. We have the timer on.
Okay, I think you have more time than us.
and one more thing, this case was done under navigation.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
For average case, it's all looks okay. But then for a critical comments, it's a maybe recipe for adjacent segment already. The screws are way too near to the end plates. The rod is so proud superiorly that it is hinging on the upper facets, and the screw somehow on the left side of the you said L4-5, right?
L4-5.
L4 looks little on the down, and these screws are straight.
Yeah.
I don't know in the axial my images whether they are out of the body. So I think they are out of the body and the hold might not be that great.
All right. That's a great point. Thank you. Well taken. So Dr. Gururaj feels that the screws are not convergent, they're near to the end plate. But the story is that ever since the patient had the surgery, he had started having severe left leg pain. Was unable to walk. VAS was 10 out of 10, and he said that he was much better. But then as usual, that in a desperate situation, he visited multiple doctors, and then I saw him on post-op day 12. The wound had healed very well, and it was done MIS. Everything was fine. The SLR was on the left side. It was 20 degrees. He had severe pain on the left leg. Left leg was red. There was ankle dorsiflexion weakness, and there was hyperesthesia, severe burning sensation and hyperesthesia on the left foot. And now coming back to the X-ray, any comment, Dr. Gururaj? I would take your yes. Excellent point. Excellent point, sir. So point well taken. You can see the cage very well on the lateral view, but you cannot see it on the AP view. So what do you do next? So probably you never know where the cage is. From the wound, you could say possibly that the surgery was done from the left side. What do we do next for this patient?
CT scan.
CT, MRI, any role of MRI?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens, you know, the MRI, we don't get a very clear picture. And if the cage is out of position, it will be, I think, much better seen. And also the screws and all, we can check the position better.
Excellent point, sir, again. So when you think of cage malpositions, we think more about a CT scan rather than doing an MRI. Sir?
Yeah, better to do CT scan in this case.
CT scan. Perfect. So,
there are two problems.
Yeah.
One is root problem and the one is the sympathetic chain.
Yes.
So we need to see for screws also. I think screws are causing maybe sympathetic chain problem and cage is causing the root issue.
Perfect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. So I did a CT scan. This was a scan which says the screws look okay. Maybe the L4 screw is slightly towards the superior end plate. In the axial views, again, the screws were in the pedicle. That is what I would say. There were 5.5 screws, but kind of I would think it is an acceptable position. And this was the axial view at the disc level. Now, being a peak cage, we have to be more vigilant about finding this cage where it is. So now what I see is that there's a cage outside the vertebral body. So it's in the foramen. So does it explain my symptoms of left leg pain and dysesthesia and weakness?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think
quite straightforward. Yes. So now, so what must have happened? See, no one does it intentionally. Maybe the case was under navigation. Maybe the patient bucked, or what happened. The cage which was supposed to go from far lateral to far medial, it probably went straight. And if you see the kind of TLIF which was attempted over here, it was just by removing the superior articular facet. The inferior articular facet still remains intact. So possibly the surgeon was trying to do a very minimally invasive job and trying to get in the cage over there. But when we are doing this, we have to be more, it's not a routine trajectory that we take for a TLIF when you do a complete facetectomy. That is another point that I wanted to tell. Now here we have, we can see that peak cage which is lying down outside into the foramen. So my working diagnosis right now that we have a cage malposition in the foramen with left L4 nerve root symptoms, with irritation of the DRG which could explain the dysesthesia and hyperesthesia, and he has a left-sided dorsiflexion weakness. So what next?
yeah, I think we can't sit on it.
Yeah.
He has got weakness, he's got out of control pain.
Huh.
So, and the cage is out of position.
Right.
It's where the nerve probably is getting irritated. So, I mean, doing something and going in is an option.
Mm-hmm.
If the patient agrees,
Yeah.
we can.
So, how do we counsel this patient? Usually, when things go down south, they usually have questions whether the surgery was needed, whether it was rightly done, now what is to be done, whether I am going to, whether we need a surgery or not, and whether I am going to get better with whatever you say. So, anyone, how would you take it, sir?
It's a very difficult problem. You know, one of your colleagues has done this surgery and things have gone wrong. But, you know, in all honesty, sometimes it can happen to you also.
Yes, of course. Yes.
First thing, I wouldn't be too critical of the person who has done it. I would say that, you know, these things happen, and unfortunately, with the best intentions, you have complications.
Yes.
So, in fact, I would talk to the first surgeon and ask him exactly what happened, this is what has happened, share it with him.
Yes. So,
And then be open to the patient that I think that this is, the cage is slipped out, or initially it was there. And there's a good chance that your pain might reduce if we revise it. I wouldn't give him any guarantees that the pain will go away completely, the power will come back completely, because if he has entered the reflex sympathetic dystrophy kind of spectrum, then it is very difficult to, to stop it, even if you rectify removing the cage. So I would give him a guarded prognosis. I would be open with the patient and talk to the first surgeon.
yeah.
And then tell this to the patient that it needs done again.
Excellent point, Dr. Kedar. So, first thing, don't criticize your colleague, whosoever it is. We don't know what situations they were into that time. Don't badmouth it, makes us look bad in front of the patient. And we have to be sympathetic as well as we have to guide them through the right route. But when we promise them outcomes, it is really difficult for us to say whether the foot drop is going to recover, whether it is not going to recover, whether even the pain would get better. So, guarded prognosis, that's a great point. Will a block work? Would anyone want to try a block in this patient?
No,
No?
blocks do not try.
Not required. So, we directly go
Got
in.
already weakness in the foot and pain. We need to open.
Would you want to change the screws now? Like we decide to go in, two questions, whether we go in open or MIS, and whether we change the screws or we just reposition the cage. Hey, Mandar. Oh. Yeah. Perfect. So, whatever you are comfortable with, you can choose that technique, but final goal has to be that you do the complete job. And yeah.
Definitely, open is easier,
Yeah.
but especially when it comes to laterally positioned anything, It may be a disc, may it be a cage, whatever it is. The tube works better than the open actually.
Right.
You just get lost in the sea of blood and the muscles whenever it is there. So if you can dock your tube exactly onto the cage, image guided, that works better as compared to open.
Excellent. And would you change the screws now? Like they are in the pedicle, they're okay. Why to unnecessarily
No,
disrupt
I
them?
won't change the screws. I
Yeah.
won't change.
So exactly, that is what I did. I did it again MIS way. I did not use the tube. I used the Macaulay retractor. I think it works better in my hands. The principles are same. MIS is not about what retractor we use. So stages. I first went onto the opposite side. I removed the rod of the opposite side. I went onto the ipsilateral side, the left side. I removed the rod. I did a complete facetectomy. The cage was right in front of me. Now, being very careful not to pull out the cage immediately as you see it. Try to identify the L4 exiting nerve root, separate it, protect the serrated edges of your cage so that they do not rub onto your exiting nerve root, and gradually pluck out the cage. Immediately you see that red inflamed nerve root. And now the real challenge that came in was to put the cage back in. Now already when there are a couple of shavers which went in, there's already a tunnel which has been made, which is tending to slip my cage more laterally. So I had to intentionally go in under CM guidance, go in more medial, create more space, and in my best attempt to put the cage again, you see that it is in the vertebral body, but it is still lateral. It is not the most optimum thing, but this is the best that I could get. Okay. Post-operative, the patient's pain reduced significantly. His SLR was negative. He did have some dysesthesia. I could not promise him when that would go, what would happen. He was walking a bit better. Naturally, he was more apprehensive after the first surgery. Recovery was a little bit prolonged. And gradually over a month, it was a great story. Patient is happy. I hope the cage doesn't slip out again now. And I hope I get a good fusion. I used iliac crest bone graft that place so that maybe I augment because there was not much bone graft
Mayur,
that I could get.
did you see the intraop images from the primary surgeon? It did not happen that the cage slipped laterally after surgery?
No, I could not really get those images. That could be one possibility that he placed it well and then it went laterally. But you know, there's such a good lateral annulus which is there.
Yeah,
It is
it is
difficult for
difficult.
the cage to slip out laterally. At least I have never seen anything that way. Any experience does anyone have a lateral slip out of cage? We see backouts, we see spit outs in the front, but lateral?
No.
No. So the annulus tends to be pretty strong over there. Any comments or can we go on?
Usually, what we have seen is why these cages get positioned laterally is if you don't dock your tube in line with the disc. So if you are inferior to the disc, so to get that medial angulation and that inferior angulation inside the tube becomes difficult. So in that bargain, ultimately you end up having your tubes more laterally because you are not able to get that angulation along the line of the disc and medialize it.
Right. Perfect. Very nice point. So we understand that the tube has to be coaxial with the disc, coplanar with the disc. I use a Macaulay retractor, a little bit old school, follow the same principle. But I think those problems of getting the right trajectory, getting the right angles, those are eliminated by using the Macaulay because I get most play to angle out my instruments. So that is another message that I would like to give through this case. So take home, technology does not supersede good surgical execution. We need to follow all the steps, all the right ways to do it. CT is the investigation of choice for implant malposition. Talk to your patients about variable outcomes in case of revision and get it right at the first time. Revisions are more complicated. Thank you.